Good afternoon, everybody. Great to see you guys all here. For those of you that have been on our webinars before or familiar with Quest, welcome back. Happy to have you. For those of you that are not as familiar with Quest, maybe this is your first time hearing about the company, or you saw the webinar on some event page. Welcome, and we're super excited to have you guys. Before we do get started, I just want to give a quick disclaimer, and this, if you guys are familiar with Quest, is something you've most likely heard before, but we do not provide any sort of tax, legal, investment, or deal structuring advice. So this presentation is purely for educational purposes. Just bear that in mind as we go through. And certainly if you guys have any questions, whether it's for Havan regarding seller financing, for Quest, SDIRAs, or even how it all ties together, please go ahead and put those down in the comments, and we will get to them towards the end. We'll have probably at least 15 minutes or so of Q&A. So without further ado, I do just want to give a brief introduction for our speaker today, Havan Lee. Havan is actually based in Houston, where we are as well. That's where the Quest corporate office is. She is not only just a dynamic real estate entrepreneur, but also a supermom and a dedicated wife. She kind of tied all of these things together, all of her passions, by founding Real Estate SuperMoms, which is something that she finds very empowering. Her passion for not only empowering women, but mothers towards financial independence as well. Something else that Havan is very dedicated to, she actually serves as the treasurer for the Vietnamese National Association of Real Estate Professionals. So something else that she loves and enjoys in the real estate world. So without further ado, we will go ahead and bring Havan here on screen. Havan, such a pleasure to have you here today. I think we're incredibly excited to hear your testament, your presentation, and a lot of respect for you and what you do in the real estate field.
Thank you so much for that kind introduction, Collins. Really appreciate you. And with that, let's kick it off. Thanks everyone for joining with me and Quest on this Sunday, Saturday afternoon. I don't know where about everybody, but in Houston, it is super hot to do anything. So here we are, probably the smartest choice that you make today. It's going to be a fun time talking numbers and spreadsheet. So grab a drink, beer, wine, coffee, or tea, even that kale smoothie that you promise yourself that you make more often. Let's go. My name is Havan Lee. I'm the founder of Real Estate SuperMom. As Colin has introduced earlier, we don't wear capes unless it's laundry day. Our aim is to help 100,000 moms and women to gain financial freedom, because let's be honest, moms has always been the real superhero. So if you like what you see today, hopefully you check our channel and share with other people that you think might benefit from the information. So I actually graduated from, sorry, I'm just learning to take control of this. Give me 1 second. Let's see, can you see the slide okay, but it's not moving, so hang on. Uh-oh. Give me 1 second, please. Hang on 1 second. I'm just reaching out to tech support really quick. We thought we got this down, but now it's me. I'm not able to move the presentation along. Hang on.
I'm going to rejoin momentarily. Let's see if we can. Are you able to move it on the actual presentation app? Havan?
Yes, I can.
Oh,
Try doing that. Let's see if.
Okay.
let's try resharing it, Havan.
Okay. Reshare.
I see it.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, try it again. Yep.
Okay. And do you mind telling me where to go to reshare again?
You'll just hit present in
Share
the middle of the screen. Share screen. That's correct.
Share screen. Seller finance. Is that working now?
And try changing a slide back and forth. Yep, I see
Yeah,
it.
that
Okay,
works.
so let's add it up. Okay, there we go.
Awesome. Thanks, Juan.
No problem.
Okay, there we go. We are back, everybody. Thanks so much for your patience. So I graduated from University of Houston. Go Cougars! My family and I
Lordy,
came to the
Lord,
U.S.
why? We tested it.
What happened?
Is it not working?
Oop.
Are we good?
Yeah, I think you're good to keep going.
Okay. Yeah, thanks everyone again for your patience. That makes our Saturday even more fun, right? So take 100. I graduated from University of Houston, and my family and I came to the U.S. with immigrants' dreams and vision of Houston barbecue. Houston has been a gracious host, and now it is home for us. My husband and I ventured into real estate about 8 years ago with zero knowledge in real estate. Together, we've done over 30 million in transaction, and we've been a Quest client since 2018. So here's a throwback. Our very first flip in the first couple of months in real estate. We were pretty lucky. It was a very typical 3 bedroom, 2 bed, easy rehab. We sold it faster than hotcakes and made a pretty sweet profit in the first few months. And we were fortunate and continued to do well for a few years flipping and make the most money we ever made. But let's not forget Uncle Sam's cut. Ouch. That was a pie that we did not want to share. So many of you might be familiar with this quote from the famous Warren Buffett. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. So while I really enjoy what I do as a flipper, but I wanted flipping to be a choice. So over time, I spotted out a gap in the market, kind of like missing that one puzzle under the couch. The concept that I'm sharing with you today isn't new. I was in your seat, listening to different speakers, sharing about their strategies until one finally spoke to me. And I'm hoping that I can pay it forward and do the same thing for some of you here today. And there will be ample time for Q&A at the end. In these two case studies, I'll share with you how we've been able to increase our bottom line from 20% to an average of 30 plus rate of return, and how you can achieve the same or even better with any amount of money that you have to start. So we noticed that there is a gap between two group of people: the hard-working immigrants ready to buy but struggling with traditional loans, and then there are hardworking individuals, cash rich but time poor, eager to dive into real estate. And us, the flipper, once we flip the property, we only make money once. So what is the solution? The solution was we want to build a bridge, not literally, but an ecosystem that allows people to leverage our expertise to build equity and passive income. Traditionally, a buyer will have to qualify for a mortgage at the bank and purchase a property. Now, those hardworking immigrant families can qualify to buy a property or a house from us via seller financing. So instead of them getting a mortgage from a bank, we are the bank. We have a note on the property, and the note investors can participate in our notes and earn monthly passive income. So you can see here, we, the seller, will offer seller financing to the buyer, and the buyer will make payment to a third-party servicing company that we choose to work with, and then that servicing company will distribute the payment to our no participants and us, the seller. So we're the bank. So how does that work? So with this property here, we purchased it for $45,000, and then all-in cost would be at $58,000. If we wanted to remodel the property, it would have cost us about $45,000 to remodel it, and we would sell it for $160 to $165. We decided to put it on the market as is, and we have cash offer anywhere from $60,000 to $80,000, or we have seller finance offer from $100,000 to $109,000. So we ended up with closing on the property with a borrower bringing in about 15% down. So we agree on the selling price of $1,059 and at the rate of 9.25%. So here's the investment summary. Selling price, if we would sell it for cash, we would get $80,000. That was the highest offer. After all the costs, we would get a pretty good profit of $15,600. Not bad, right? For turning it around and selling it. But if we can find a way and agree to the seller financing, we'll be able to sell it for more. And then we actually double or more than double the profit that we would have received from flipping the property. And some of you may be wondering, like, Havan, I need money for operation, marketing. The business have business costs. So how am I going to leave that much money into a deal to continue running my business? That's very understandable. I was in your shoe, and that's where strategic partnership come in. So the borrower bring in the borrower bring in 15% down to the closing, and we agree on the selling price of $1,059 at the rate of 9.25 for 30 years. So they will make a monthly payment of $747.81. So our no participant will bring in $75,538 to the closing and participating in the note of $90,900. In return, they're going to get a rate of 9.1%, and for 30 years, they'll get a monthly payment of $613.21, and to sum it up, a total payment of $220,755 to the no participant. What do you think? This was done during COVID when the average 5-year CD yield was at 1.14%. So not too bad, right? As you can see right here, if you go back for as far as the investor, if you were to go back to the previous slide, when you sell it out for cash at $80,000, you will be able to make $15,600. Now, selling on seller financing with a no participant, you are able to sell partial of your note for $75,000 at the closing. So yes, you're not getting 80, but you're leaving less than $5,000 into the deal. In return, you're receiving 30-year payment of $134.60. So if you do the math, it's about 36% rate of return. But if you were to include the down payment from the borrower, your return now is infinite. So are those better investments? So let's assume that this probably worth 100,000 on the market and the borrower brought in 20% down. So the loan to value is 80%. Over a period of time, the note is being paid out by the borrower. At the same time, the value of the property is going to continue to go up. So every investment, there is a risk and reward. So it's not a risk-free strategy. However, what's the worst case scenario? So the worst case scenario for everyone is the borrower stop paying. And what do we do? So I think Quincy mentioned in one of his books, actually it's the worst case scenario, the most scariest thing, but it's not for the investor because we can take the property back and then resell it again if needed. It is not our strategy, but to know the plan for the worst case scenario is very important. And that's why you want to make sure that you partner up with the right partner. So if someone was to participate in our note, we always recommend all of our note participants don't put more than 70% of the value of the property into the note. And should the borrower ever stop making payment, with our expertise, we want to step in and making sure that you're continuing to get your monthly passive income until the note pay off. So it's very important for you to identify the right partner to work with, someone that will be able to, as a passive investor, someone will be able to come in and be able to handle the notes where your purpose was to receive the monthly passive income. Another security layer to it is the borrower bringing in 20% down. So according to Zillow data, it showed that it takes Texan household an average of 8 to 10%, 8 to 10 years to save up for a 10% down payment for a typical home. Normally, banks don't require 10% down because few people are disciplined enough to make it. But the borrower with a down payment of 10% or more are far less likely to default. So let's recap. Who are the parties involved into a deal to make sure that you are in good hand or in a good deal? The note investor, the deal, and the borrower. So who would make a great potential candidate for no participant? Is someone that are not looking for a tax advantage or appreciation, someone that can commit to a 7 to 10 years terms. Even though the note are 30 years, in our experience, most of note actually pay off within 7 to 10 years. And somebody who have to be okay with logging every month to see their money coming in. Or if you're lazy like me, just have your assistant to do it and send you a monthly report. As far as working with the investor as a passive no participant, you do want to take your time and not rushing into a deal. You want to vet their character, their credential, and their reference. Are they honest people? How is their level of communication and how reliable they are? What is their experience level? How many deals have they done? Do they have system, process, people in place to handle situation when needed? How is their credit scored? And who have they worked with in the past? What do people say about them? So on the deal itself, it's very important that you want until when someone reaching out to you and invite you to be a no participant, you want to make sure that you do a thorough check on the deal as well after you already vetted the investors. And one of the things that I highly recommend you do is making sure that you pull up a tax search. We have deals that submitted in by other investors that want us to participate, and then on their deal, they saying that the property is sitting on 3.5 acre. But when we pull it up the tax search, it's only a 10,000 square foot lot. So it's like, where's the 3.5 acre coming from? So they have to be submitted in the survey to prove that it's actually on 3.5 acre. And then we also recommend that you pull at least 3 comparables to understand the value of the property or the deals that you are investing in. And then what is the term of the notes? How long is the notes going to be for? What kind of monthly payment are you receiving? Is the investor the boots on the ground? And how much capital the investor has into the deal? And how many liens on the property? We hear, different horror stories where one investor would have 10 different no participant or investor on the exact same deal, and they just resell it over and over again. So it's very, very important that you check in and see how many liens on the property. So I'll cover what to look for before you fund the deal in just a minute. And the last step that we want to make sure that is done correctly is the borrower. Is the borrower being vetted? And typically we leave it in the hand of the professional, the mortgage loan originator. They are the one who check the borrower ability to pay and stay compliance with Dodd-Frank compliance. So what do you need to do before you fund the note? You want to make sure that is been worked on or have been looked at and been vetted by a mortgage loan originator, and is it serviced by a professional servicer? And what is the title insurance say? Is there a title insurance? Is the property tax and insurance being escrow and confirm the collateral? Make sure the legal description is correct. And then after you fund the note, ask for a copy of a recorded note. That means there is a lien recorded on the fund, on the note that you participated in. So that's very important. That's really helped to prevent the note participant from the investor having to resell multiple partial of the same thing on the same property. So here's the case study number 2 that we have with a small IRA account. So the borrower want to borrow 100,000 from us, and the purchase price would be at 263. The property value that we looked at was about 355. The loan amount that was requested for is 100,000, and they offered to pay us at 12% for a 30-year. That will make the monthly payment become $1,028.61. That's with principal and interest. So this is just a quick snapshot of what Zillow say. So the property is actually worth way more than 250,000, nearly 300. So funding them at 100,000 is no brainer, especially when the borrower bringing so much money into the deal. But the challenge that we were facing is that our daughter inherited IRA only have $100 in it, and the borrower wanted to borrow 100,000. So we decided to bring on a no participant, a partner. Then come to find out, challenge number 2 is that we made a rookie mistake. When we had this account, we set it up where the fee from the custodian actually coming out from the inherited account. So the maximum we could fund at that time was only $10. And thankfully, we have a great relationship with our no participant, and they're very happy with the note. So they wanted to fund $99,990. So the borrower have a loan of $100,000 at 12% for 30 years. So they will be making a monthly payment of $1,028.61. So and they plan to pay off in 12 months. So in the period of 12 months, the no investor will receive a monthly check of $876.75 and almost $6,000 in 1 year for the investment of nearly $100,000. So they get a pretty good rate of return of 9.99%. What do you think the return that we get on the inherited IRA? You can put it in the chat in the comment. 18,224%. I'm sharing that to say not for you to worry so much about getting a great return, but just to share with you that you can be creative and you can start with any amount of money that you have, but not to focus so much on just getting a high rate of return. Do you know what one of the things that cost an investor the most? It's idle money. So let's assume that you have 100,000 that you can invest for the next 25 years, and you only invest into a deal that give you double digit. In this example, say between 10 to 12%. So you get it working at 60% at the time. By the year of 25, you have an estimate amount of about $409,630 and some change. But if you could identify a great partner to work with and have your money working constantly for 25 years, even at a lower rate of return at 8%, slow and steady, you still end up with 1.5 more than the money that you would have made previously with a high rate of return with some idle time. And if you can get 9%, even better, you will double that money that you would have received if you were just looking for double digit. So I highly encourage you to, as the no investor and no participant, to focus on making sure that your money is working hard for you all the time. And really, we wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be here today and living on our passive income the way that we are, stress-free life, if it wasn't for these two amazing, amazing people. First and foremost, Bob Zachmeyer, my mentor. And the first book that I read about no investing is Who Need the Bank. And second one is Quincy, Hours of Education. So I highly recommend these two books to anyone who's looking to game up your passive income. And finally, if you like what you hear so far and you like to connect with me, go ahead and scan that QR code. I'd love to get to know you further than our presentation and see how we can help each other grow.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Havan. That was really enlightening. So, and I do just want to address this really quick. Pamela asked if the webinar is going to be recorded. Yes, it will. Freeman, who's moderating today, one of the other IRA specialists on here, shared a link in the comments to our YouTube channel. If you guys are on there already, the live page you can click on, and within a few minutes, that recording will be posted. So you guys will be able to go back and look at it. But I just have a few things to share really quick, and then we will get to some questions. So I see we've already had a few come in, and feel free to continue to post your questions, guys. We will have some time for Q&A here in just a few minutes. But really quick, I kind of want to tie a little bit of this all together, right? Talking about some of the case studies that Havan shared and how that works in tandem with Quest, right? Using a self-directed IRA. And if you guys are not familiar with our company and the service that we provide, we're essentially allowing folks to use their retirement funds to invest in real estate and other types of alternative assets, purchasing properties, renting them out, fix and flips, multifamily syndication investments, oil and gas. There's a whole lot. The list goes on and on, truly. But that's a little bit about how you're able to kind of use those funds, right? Whether it's in a 401k, 403b, TSP, TRS, regardless of what kind of retirement funds you have. Oftentimes you're able to move that to a self-directed IRA to make those kind of investments and still have those same tax advantages that you would typically see with, purchasing, let's say, stock in Tesla, for example, right? If that appreciates, 20 points, I don't know, over the next few years, whatever it is, right? And that growth that you receive, or the investment gain, can return to your IRA account tax-free. You continue to reinvest it, compound your interest. And that's kind of the goals that our clients are looking to achieve as well, and how you can use this investment style that Havan is describing in a self-directed IRA. So that's kind of how they work together. And certainly, if you have more questions about that, our phone number is there, our website's on the screen. You can even scan that QR code to schedule a free consultation with somebody like myself or Freeman, one of our IRA specialists, and we're happy to help discuss, your situation, financial goals, and kind of see how something like this may fit, right? So that's a little bit about where you can look for taking the next steps, right? And now I kind of want to share some of the events, opportunities, different promotions, and things like that we have going on right now. For those of you that are current clients, or maybe looking to sign up, and you have friends who are clients of Quest, or family, a spouse, whatever it is, this is our current promotion. If you guys do want to sign up, we're currently offering double rewards for referrals. So typically our referral program gives $25 to both parties, the referee and the referrer. So right now it's doubled. You'll earn a $50 account credit if you do want to sign up on a reference basis. So the next one here is something that we've had at Quest for several years now, and we're kind of trying to bring it to more light because I think we think it needs a little bit more recognition compared to what it deserves. This is what we call our Gold Family Plan. And it's essentially for individuals who are looking for a little bit more tailored service, a dedicated team. They are the Gold Family team. They're only focused on our Gold Family clients for expedited processing, setting up accounts, helping them through transactions, questions, whatever it is, right? That you'll have a dedicated team that is a little bit more tailored to what it is that you need. So if you guys have some interest, again, feel free to let us know. And then the last one here is the Quest Expo that we have coming up in 2024. So a little bit early. We're, just under a year away now. But if y'all are familiar with Quest, you've been around before. Maybe you were even at the last expo that we had here in Houston. It's a huge event where we talk all things alternative investments, self-directed IRAs, taxes. We have CPA panels. There's a whole lot that you can gather and absorb from this event. It's a weekend. It's a whole weekend long, June 27th through 29th. I want to say the Houston Expo, we probably had maybe over 1,000 people there, including speakers, panels, attendees, over 50 plus different sponsors, from syndicators to lenders. There was just a whole lot incorporated, a lot that went into it, and really a great turnout. So I highly encourage you guys to check this out. You can look at more details on our website. And if you scan that QR code, it should take you straight there. We have early bird ticket prices right now. So if that's something you're interested in, please check it out. We'd be happy to have you guys. And we're really starting to gear up and getting excited for the next expo. And that'll actually be in Irving as well. So in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But that's about all I have. So let me see. I kind of actually want to Havan, put your information back up there. And guys, please scan that. Havan is such a great resource, all things real estate. So now we do have a few questions, Havan, if you'd like to go through those.
Yeah, bring them on.
All right. So
if I don't know the answer to it, we'll find a way to connect after and figure it out. So no worry.
Absolutely.
You can challenge me.
Yes, we love a good challenge. So, okay, the first one here, and this was relating back to one of the examples you gave, talking about the 9.25% interest rate on that loan. I guess they're asking, is it fair to assume the buyer has a very low credit score rating, or maybe it was a smaller down payment, something like that, to raise the interest rate?
Yeah, so that's a very fair question to ask. The family that we are lending or they are our borrowers, they're actually very hardworking family that are immigrants. For one reason or another, they don't have the ability to qualify on a traditional loans. They could be on a 1099, they could own a business, or they might not have the adequate paperwork for say to be able to qualify on a loan with a bank. So therefore, in making up for it, they would rather offer a higher interest rate where they can start building equity in their home right away and allow them to be a homeowner and then be able to bring in a good amount of down payment to be able to obtain a loan with us.
Perfect. And this is a little bit on the same topic, a good question as well, and I guess an opportunity to clarify. So Quest doesn't necessarily fund your deals. I think kind of what Havan was talking about is how they help individuals with self-directed IRAs, other real estate investors, and people like that to obtain, additional capital if they're needing, more leverage or more funding, right?
Yes, I definitely can chime into that, Colin. So, Ashley, we do meet a lot of great partners that we work with at Quest event. I highly encourage you to go to Quest event. There's a lot of good people out there that, like I mentioned earlier, they are hardworking people, cash rich but time poor. So they rely on expertise investor like us to be able to bring them good investments that allow them to participate. So how our partner in those example that you saw, they actually are Quest clients, and then they fund in our deal or participate in our deal with their Roth IRA or this health saving plan or the SEP. However, it is an account that they have with Quest to be able to participate into our no. It is not a requirement, but it just so happened that we're able to meet so many wonderful people at Quest event that we build relationship with over time to come in and partner up together.
Absolutely. And I guess while you're on, talking about Quest events, I did just share a link there. So for those of you that want to attend future webinars, if y'all are in the Texas area, we host events fairly frequently between Houston, Austin, San Antonio area, as well as Dallas, where we've got our main offices. So we've got events that we like to host. We'll bring in speakers, do socials, have food and drinks, all sorts of things. So I highly encourage you guys to check those out as well. They are a great source of networking, education, and really just all around help in the real estate world. So I would, if you guys are interested in that, you can take a look at. Oh, not sure what happened there. If you guys are interested in that, you can take a look at that link that I shared.
May I chime in? So yeah, definitely when we started off, we went to Quest event, we meet our potential no participant, no partners there. And now actually when we go to the event, we also meet other investors that you can see in the example, we participate in their deal as a no participant or as a lender as well. So you will meet great potential future partners, and just be ready and show up.
Absolutely. Let's see. Another question here. Is note investing geared for SD IRAs or self-directed IRAs only, or can one participate in it with non-IRA funds? Great question. You can absolutely use non-IRA or non-qualified funds to invest in notes, right? Just any kind of investing. The advantage of doing it with qualified retirement funds or through an IRA account is that all of that income can return that you receive tax-free, right? So typically, as real estate investors, we're probably very prone or used to having to pay capital gains on our sales or some kind of income tax, just depending on maybe how you're structured, if you're using a business or some kind of entity. So outside of an IRA, you wouldn't have those same tax advantages, but absolutely you can still make the same kind of note investments. let's see. One other question we have here, I think is from Rosa. Do you work across the nation? I'm in California. I'm not sure if this is geared more towards Quest or towards Havan, but I guess, Havan, I'll let you tackle this one. Do you guys loan outside of Texas as well?
Yeah, so one of the thing about us is, knock on wood, we have success in every single deal that we participate in, and I firmly believe the reason for that, because even though our no participant and our partner are actually from all over the U.S., we have people from California, but our deal actually here because we are the boots on the ground. We vet them pretty well. We making sure that we are in a pretty good deal. Even the investor that bring in deal for us to fund, we are currently funding deal where we know best, only because our job is to make sure that we bring in the best value to our no participant, our no partners.
Wonderful. And if that's geared more towards Quest, we work in all 50 states. We have clients that invest internationally. There's really no limit as to, I guess, where we have clients or where we can operate, right? Across the country. Let's see. Here's another question from Pamela. I am a Quest client with limited funds to buy more real estate. Is there another way to reach those Quest clients who want to lend other than the events? That really is the best way. We do some online networking as well. If you're looking to receive notes and loans from other self-directed IRAs. But again, this is where a lender, somebody like Havan, can come in and help as well, right?
Yeah, definitely. I highly encourage you, Pamela. Even if you cannot make it to all the event, I think having that meet face to face in person is really accelerate and close that gap between you and your potential partners so much. Definitely online event like this will help us to kind of initially connect with each other. In my experience, um, as of now, is still in person the best way to go. But I understand, and I encourage you if you can make it to a few events.
Absolutely. Great. Well, if there are no other questions, Havan, I'm sure you'd be more than happy. Hold on, there's one question here. Do you lend?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can see on the example number 2, on the case study number 2, we do lend, and we use it out of our daughter inherited account. And with the inherited account, the unique thing is that, and I'll let Colin address that, but we couldn't put any additional money into the account with the inherited account. You can take it out, but you cannot put more money in. So that was a great heck of a deal for us to bring in our no participant. And it was a win-win for everyone. So the answer is yes, we do lend. We just have to make sure that the deal makes sense for all parties.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, each account, has its own rules, regulations. There are little nuances based on inherited accounts, employer plans, personal IRAs. So that's certainly an area that we can assist in as well. And then one other question about our events. So our monthly networking events are, I wouldn't say going away. They are being switched to quarterly events. So if you notice there's not anything for September, that would be the reason why. We're going to start doing them once a quarter for the time being. It's still in each location, so we'll still rotate between Houston, Dallas, and Austin. But that may be the reason why if you're looking for September dates. But other than that, Havan, I'm sure you're, like I was going to say earlier, you're more than happy and welcoming for people to reach out to you afterwards with any questions they have, if they're interested in the SuperMoms group or whatever it is, right?
Yes. So Real Estate SuperMoms is a YouTube channel where I share our journey and how we got here today. And hopefully that will empower other women and moms to gain financial freedom. So if you think of anyone that may benefit from the content and do education, please share with them. I'll appreciate that. And then if you'd like to connect with me, go ahead and scan that QR code. That will give you an option to book a call together with me. We can hop on a call together and see how we can further collaborate.
Perfect. And yeah, scan that QR code. I'm going to put our website address. It's just questtrust.com in the comments as well. If you guys do have some questions for us, go ahead and check out our website. You can schedule appointments there. You can find our phone number, email address, whatever it is you need to reach out to any one of the IRA specialists. So I guess we'll end it a little bit early. Havan, again, I want to say thank you so much for joining us today, and everybody for taking the time out of your Saturday to be here. I think that's incredibly empowering as real estate investors, and whether you're very experienced, you've been doing this for 20 years, or you're just getting started and trying to learn more. Kudos to you guys for being here and joining us on a Saturday.
Yes, thank you everyone for joining. Hopefully you get to take away 1 or 2 nuggets that will improve and add in another 0 before the comma in your finances.
Absolutely. Thank you guys all so much for joining us today.
Bye.
For the rest of your Saturdays. Bye, guys.